Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 7, 2024. And in the news this evening, sentencing of Shanika Gray killer delayed. Gregory Roberts, the man found guilty for the murder of 15-year-old schoolgirl Shanika Gray in 2017, has had his sentencing delayed on Thursday when the matter was called up in the Trelawney Circuit Court in Duncans in the parish. The case originally commenced in November 2023 in the St. James's Circuit Court, and the verdict was given on January 24. However, the sentencing was sent to Trelawney to allow High Court Justice Bertram Morrison, who is now presiding in Trelawney, to hand down the sentence. When the matter was called up, prosecutor Andrew Martin Swaby told Justice Morrison that he ordered the prosecution and the defense to make a written submission in time for sentencing. Martin Swaby said the prosecution did so electronically on March 5 and a physical copy provided at a later date. Martin Swaby said a social inquiry report was also prepared by the probation department. An antecedent report was also prepared. However, according to Justice Morrison, the matter was adjourned as a result of a combination of factors, including Roberts' attorney Chuma Paris being seized upon at the last moment to make a submission to the court on behalf of the lead attorney Leroy Equiano. Paris, however, was unable to do so and had proposed that it be done orally. But Justice Morrison pointed out that based on the nature of the case and the public's interest, he would prefer to receive the submission in writing ahead of the sentencing date. Having said so, the matter will now be reverted to the St. James's Circuit Court on the 4th of April for the sentencing, stated Justice Morrison, who then apologized to all parties involved, including the family of Gray, for the inconvenience caused. Gray's partially decomposed body was found riddled with stab wounds Wednesday afternoon, 3 days after she was reported missing. The gruesome discovery was made by residents of Clark Street in her Mount Salem community, who had summoned the police to a section of the meadows of Irwin, a short distance from her school. Policeman killed in vehicular crash on Weymouth Drive. A constable attached to the St. Thomas Police Division was killed in a vehicular crash along Weymouth Drive in St. Andrew on Wednesday. He is Constable Andre Douglas of the Cedar Valley Police Station. It is reported that about 3 p.m., Douglas was riding a Jamco motorcycle along the roadway towards Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew. Upon reaching the stoplight, he was reportedly hit by a Toyota Hiace, which allegedly ran the red light. He was injured and taken to hospital where he died. Man stabbed to death during dispute with woman. A 37-year-old man was reportedly stabbed to death during a dispute with a woman in Mitchelltown, Clarendon on Monday. The deceased has been identified as Lorraine Cole, also known as a butcher, a farmer of Swamp Road in Mitchelltown. Reports from the police are that about 4:44 p.m. on Monday, Cole and a woman were at his home when an argument developed. During the quarrel, Cole allegedly used a piece of wood to hit the woman all over her body. The woman, who was armed with a knife, reportedly stabbed Cole in his upper body. A team of lawmen on patrol in the area was made aware of the situation, and Cole, who was discovered in a pool of blood on the ground, was assisted to the hospital. He was pronounced dead on arrival, and the woman admitted to hospital under police guard. Up to March 2, the parish of Clarendon had recorded 11 homicides. Investigations into Cole's killing are ongoing. Jamaican man charged in stabbing death of his wife in Canada. A Jamaican woman was allegedly killed by her husband inside their home in Ontario, Canada early Wednesday. She has been identified as schoolteacher Estella Wheeler. CBC Radio reports that officers were called to the home in Vaughan, Ontario about 12:30 a.m. by concerned neighbors and found the 64-year-old Wheeler with serious injuries. The police said despite life-saving measures, she was pronounced dead on the scene. Her 68-year-old husband, Trevor Wheeler, was arrested and later charged with second-degree murder. CBC Radio also said a spokesperson for York Police, Constable Lisa Muskaluk, did not provide any further information about the nature of Wheeler's injuries when police arrived at the home. She said an autopsy is scheduled for the coming days. Muskaluk could not say whether anyone else was inside the residence when officers arrived or if they recovered a weapon at the scene. Wheeler taught grade 7 and 8 at Afrocentric Alternative School in North York, where she had worked for more than 7 years. Neighbors say the couple from Jamaica has resided at the address for around 15 years. A resistant Tesha Miller dragged to court. Reputed leader of the Klansman gang, Tesha Miller, this morning delayed the start of a case management hearing in the Home Circuit Court for over 3 hours after he refused to attend. Miller, the court heard, had refused to leave his cell at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center, forcing the police to devise a plan to get him to the Supreme Court. However, when he arrived, it was reported that he again refused to be escorted into the courtroom and had to be dragged by the police as he kept resisting. The matter, which was scheduled for 10 a.m., started around 1:40 p.m. shortly after Miller entered the courtroom, dressed in a long white t-shirt and red shorts, unlike his usual clean and crisp long white sleeve shirt and white pants. His hair, which had streaks of gray, looked unkempt. The delay did not go unnoticed by Justice Vinette Graham Allen, who demanded to know the reason for the wait as soon as she started the matter. She was then informed by the prosecutor as to what transpired and was told that Miller was the reason, as the other 23 accused in the case had arrived at court from 9:45 a.m. Miller's attorney at law, John Clark, while indicating that he needed to get further instructions from his client, disclosed that his client was used as a punching bag. He also questioned whether a writ was obtained for his client to be brought to court and whether it was served on Miller. However, he was told by the judge that by law, the writ is not required to be served on his client, who is in the state's custody. Miller is currently serving nearly 39 years for accessory before the fact to murder and accessory in connection with the 2008 murder of former chairman of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, Douglas Chambers. Jamaican man wanted in Florida for murder, arrested in Pennsylvania. A Jamaican national who was on the run after fatally shooting a man in Daytona Beach, Florida, was arrested in Pennsylvania on Tuesday. Danito Simpson, 25, was wanted on first-degree murder and aggravated battery charges. He is accused of killing 24-year-old Donnell Williams in September last year during a confrontation over a woman. Police say Simpson was also wanted for beating his pregnant girlfriend with a broomstick. It is reported that the men had a history of confrontations because Simpson was in a relationship with the mother of Williams' children. On September 10, witnesses told the police that Simpson and Williams got into a fight outside an apartment complex and both fell to the ground. Simpson then got up, pulled out a gun and shot Williams twice. 10 arrested, 1 fatally shot in Gregory Park operation. 10 people are in custody, 4 of whom are expected to be charged with various offenses following a security operation in Gregory Park, St. Catherine on Thursday morning. 1 man was fatally shot during a reported confrontation with the security forces. A 9mm pistol, an AK-47 rifle, a shotgun, assorted rounds of ammunition, and a bulletproof vest were seized during the operation. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, commanding officer for the St. Catherine South Police, said over the last few weeks there have been several murders and shootings in the area. He said members of his team have also been shot at and received a threat. SSP Phillips said based on intelligence gathered, the security forces went into the Caymanas Gardens area sometime after midnight.
Whilst they were cordoning the area, several men ran in several directions. The pursuit was fired on, by some men in a particular house at the location. The police took evasive action and returned fire. 1 man was later found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where it's reported that he later pronounced dead. 1 9mm pistol was taken from him. I find that where communities are not organized, the criminals take root and they take charge in those communities. One observation so far is that these are several youngsters who are among the persons that we are taking in, and some of them claim that they go to school or they have work to do. But we find that pretty interesting because there are several things happening in these communities.
In the meantime, a resident of Gregory Park who spoke on condition of anonymity told the news that some men who were picked up in Thursday morning's operation were protecting the community. The resident expressed a fear that the community could be in danger from other individuals who may seek to take control. The resident said with the community protectors removed, the police must take their place.